Raise Fashion pop-up. So this is an event I'm actually going to. Raise Fashion is a nonprofit brand, Black owned brand, who helps elevate, give tools, resources, and visibility to emerging Black creators or designers. So TikTok is really good for finding pop-up events. There are a lot of creators on there who live in New York who always show different pop-up events that are happening in New York, period. Hi, my name is Shemai Monet, and thank you for clicking on today's video. So you already know by the title, we're going to be talking about New York Fashion Week prep for small content creators. I know that a lot of people that go to Fashion Week, they're getting invited, they're getting flown out, or they're getting a comp stay. And that's not the case for me, and I know a lot of others. And I feel like I just want to offer this video to you to help you see, if you're not going this year, that this can be for you still, Fashion Week. And also, if you are going, maybe some things you want to think about and add to your itinerary, and also just getting a full picture of what content creation can be, the experience you can have without having all the resources and having a very affordable budget. Well, what I think is an affordable budget for New York. So without further ado, let's just get right into it because I have a lot to share with you guys. So let's get started. So first, we're going to talk about my goals for attending Fashion Week. I want to network. I want to network vertically and horizontally. I want to make sure that I'm meeting emerging designers. I want to make sure that I'm meeting PR, that I'm getting a firsthand look at some of these brands, because it's not just shows, it's also presentations and pop-ups. You really just never know where you could end up at Fashion Week, and you don't necessarily need an invite to end up in places you never thought you would be. I'm looking to just network with even my peers in this space, other smaller content creators that I might not know, put my name and brand out there, and then also learn about other brands as far as like content creators are concerned. I also want to gain credibility in this space. So I did not come into fashion by way of going to school for it in any way. So I just love fashion because I fell in love with style when I was struggling with insecurities in high school. And it's just always been kind of like my thing. I've always been the friend in the friend group where it's like, okay, Shamaya, what you wearing? Because I need to make sure I'm up to par with you, type of thing. So this is just me coming in as a student to the game. I want to learn all that I can and meet different people and just really absorb and take in the industry, right? The good and the bad. I also want to elevate my brand and just show how I'm connected in the space of fashion. Like, what is my small contribution to the fashion industry as a content creator? So that is what I am going to do. And I am like planning a photo shoot. We're going to vlog the experience. It needs to be on record that I was there. I came and showed up, showcasing my personal style, my unique creativity, my unique point of view on fashion. And so, yeah, I just want to be marked as I was in this space. Also, I want to have access to photographers and gain notice from publications. So, as you know, like when you go to Fashion Week, if you aren't invited to these fashion shows, you can always pull up and kind of like post up at the fashion shows. And a lot of times the photographers are just all lined up. They'll take your picture. So I'm trying to really be intentional about at least having one or two looks that may go along with some of the fashion shows that are going on this year, and seeing if I can get my picture taken. And I would love to end up in a publication, whether that's Getty Images or whether that's on someone's social media platform or website or article, blog, what have you. Like, I just want to have a small mark in the space. So next, or my last thing I'm going to say is just personal growth and a creative recharge. I have done travel to see family and things like that this year, but I haven't done anything that really pours back into my creative cup. So that's what I'm looking to do as well. And New York is a perfect place to do that. It always gives me a recharge. Just meeting other people and seeing them flourish and do their thing and their take on, their point of view of fashion and whatever else they may have going on. It's just so inspiring. So now we're going to talk about when I start planning. So I start planning at least 6 months out. I say 6 months out because although no shows, no pop-up events, no presentations have been announced, I'm looking for lodging. I'm looking for how am I getting there? Is it by car? Is it by plane? The biggest thing is going to be your stay. And so I like to look at hotels in advance so I can get the best rates. I'm going on a fixed budget because, I'm not making the money people who are getting invited are making, and even still they're getting comp stays and things like that. So I just have to be more strategic, and planning ahead is always going to be best. So I suggest planning at least 6 months out if you're looking to go to Fashion Week. I would also say think about where you would stay. Is it with family? Is it with friends? Or is it in a hotel in the city? You just want to know where can I stay and how can I save money in different places. For me, I will be staying for 8 days. 3 days will be with a friend. 5 days will be with or in a hotel in the city. I would say it's best to stay in the city because the commute is so much better. When I went to Fashion Week in February 2024, Spring Fashion Week, first of all, the weather was a hindrance there with travel, but also it was just so annoying having to transport back and forth from Brooklyn to the city. It was such a commute. And the backwards planning and all of that was just exhausting. So I would rather be more like closer in proximity into the city, especially the lower side of Manhattan. So that is what me and my friend decided to do this time around. Yes, we will be staying in a hotel for 5 days in the city, specifically in the financial district, but we'll get into the details of the hotel here in a minute. I would also say you should determine how many days before Fashion Week you're willing to come, because with coming before Fashion Week, you do get access to a lot more pop-up events and things that are going on to launch Fashion Week, and it's a lot less saturated. So you could get more time with these front-facing representatives at the brands, at the PR events, the pop-up events. Get to have that more intimate interaction, and you also don't have to worry about the large crowds waiting in line. So that is something we found out when we went in February. Also, just to enjoy New York a little bit, do a little shopping before Fashion Week, because they're going to be ripping through these stores once they get to Fashion Week. People travel all over the world to go to New York Fashion Week, so you just want to keep that in mind. And then I would also say try to make sure if you're booking a flight, make sure you're booking something where you're not arriving late and leaving early. That's the case for me this time around. We're staying 8 days, but it really boils down to 6 because we get in September 8th, which is a Monday, but we're getting in late at night. And then we are leaving on the 16th of September, but we're leaving early in the morning. So that already kind of cuts out 2 days. Let's talk about where I stay. Like I said, I'll be staying in the city for most of the time in the financial district. I would say the hotel is best. Staying in Airbnb is not bad, but you do want to be mindful of how clean is the space, how large is the space, things like that, especially in New York. It's a very dirty place. As well as the feature of book now, pay later. You only can get that with booking a hotel. With Airbnb, you're going to have to cough up a percentage and put a deposit down right now. But what if you find something better? I don't want to pay anything. I just want to book something, bookmark it, and maybe if I find something better, I could just cancel that hassle free. So we did find a hotel that had the book now, pay later feature. So we have not paid for the hotel yet, but it does give you time to set aside the money, leading up to Fashion Week that you'll need to pay for your stay. So that's always good. Like I said, staying in Lower Manhattan is going to be the best options. Anywhere near Soho, NoHo, Chinatown, West, East, Greenwich Village, even a financial district like where we're staying, I feel like it's best because you just got all the shopping, the food, creative people, and hubs. So we're staying at the Courtyard by Marriott. It is a mid-tier hotel. It's a 3-star hotel, and it's about a 10-minute drive to Soho. It is 259 square feet with double beds. I believe they're full size. And then space is so important in New York. So because we're both coming with 2 checked bags, it was really important that we found something that had enough space for the both of us and all of our outfits and things like that. The price does not include breakfast, but we are paying $325 a night. That is pricey, of course, for a hotel, but not for New York during Fashion Week. For how long we're staying, I didn't see anything cheaper than $325 for the amount of space with the proximity we were looking for. I know everybody probably wants to know, what are you going to be doing if you're spending $900 to stay there, not including your flight, not including paying for Ubers and food and all of this stuff? To start off, we booked a photo shoot, so it's going to be a wow, I cannot talk. A duo photo shoot with both of us and separately. So we're kind of getting a 2-for-1 with that. This is just going to be content for us to put on our individual platforms, and we also have something coming together. We just needed to get some branded content for that. Also, we're going to be shopping in New York. I'm excited about that. Of course, I do want to go thrifting into like consignment vintage shops. I'm super excited for that. If there's some good sample sales going on, I would love to check that out as well, because that's something that's very unique to New York. I'm also going to the Met Gala, the Black Dandy exhibit. Super excited for that. Of course, after seeing the Met Gala, I did review the red carpet look, so check that out if you're interested. But that was such a good time. But I can't wait to see the exhibit, and that is in partnership with Louis Vuitton. So I'm excited to go and walk that and just experience and take that in. And then I'm going to go to the Louis Vuitton Cafe. They just put up their new store, or they redid the store. And so we're going to experience the dining experience at the cafe. And then we're also going to actually go through the Louis Vuitton store just to get inspired. And then we're going to fashion shows, pop-up events, restaurants. We're also going to Everyday People Party in Brooklyn. So I'm super excited about that because I've never been to one of their parties. Of course, get pictures taken near the shows. That's something we're also going to be doing. So we have a good mix of different things that we're going to be doing. Now let's talk about things I am looking out for. It's not on my itinerary, but I am looking for things that may be going on with these brands, and I want to tell you about it so that you can also look out on their socials for what may be coming up as far as pop-up events, because we're not gatekeeping. Things I am looking out for. I am looking out for if Essence is doing something. So typically for the September Fashion Week, Essence Fashion House comes and do a pop-up. They have a panel. You can see all your favorite Black content creators, and it's just a good time to network and meet people. I don't know if they're doing anything this year because of the controversy around the brand this year, and it's just a lot of weird things going on over there. So we'll have to see. Looking forward to seeing what's going on with Kensington Gray. I know that they always have their brunch. Normally that is with their clients, but sometimes you never know. You might get an invite somewhere. Also, they could be doing something in collaboration with another brand. So I'm just going to look out for them. We also have the Black Beauty roster pop-up. They normally do a pop-up every year. This is another Black company that really supports and uplift, the equality and equity of Black creatives in the beauty realm, because beauty and fashion goes hand to hand, making sure that there is enough representation and that these creatives, whether makeup artists, hairstylists, nail stylists, that they get the push and the representation that they need to be in these spaces. And then you have the Beauty Fashion Council, another Black brand that really supports and try to hold space where emerging designers can be platformed. So I am looking to see if they have something. I know in the past they had some extra tickets left, and so they had put out on their Instagram, like, shoot your shot in our DMs, let us know why you should be invited, and we'll be giving out some tickets. So you just never know, like, you have to stay ready, and that's a really good Black business to follow for if you're looking for that type of opportunity. Raise Fashion Pop-Up. So this is an event I'm actually going to. Raise Fashion is a nonprofit brand, Black-owned brand, who helps elevate, give tools, resources, and visibility to emerging Black creators or designers. They're having a panel. They're going to have some of the top emerging Black designers in the house speaking on the panel, speaking of their experience. We can ask questions as attendees. I think they're also going to, I think it's at a restaurant, so you'll be able to order food, and then you'll also be able to shop these brands. So I think that's just a really good way to actually meet the owners and creators of these brands that we're just buying online. Online shopping is so convenient, but it also takes away the storytelling, just the intimate interaction of what fashion is. So I'm really excited to be there. This was a free event, and I'm like, I'm so happy that they made this a free event. Like, they want people to come, and they know, like, specifically in the Black and brown community, a lot of us who are creators, we haven't made it big yet, and we probably can't afford or are not on the list to go to some of these events. So it's like, okay, let's create something free where anybody can pull up. And this is a 5-hour event, so you have plenty of time to get there and talk and connect with people. I'm also looking forward to meet some content creators and just kind of getting some insight from them, and meeting them and just feeling their energy in person, because I already feel like I know some of them online, but it's so different being in person. So I'm super, super excited for this event, and I hope it leads way to other opportunities along the way that I might not even have planned out. And then I guess I'll highlight, I am looking forward to any type of rooftop events or like industry after parties. So we'll just have to see what we end up running into as far as an opportunity or a person. When me and my friend go and travel together, she's the one of my best friends to travel with. I love traveling with her. We just be on the same time as far as like, okay, what should we go to? How should we pivot? We strategize the same on trips. And then that's my fashion partner. Like, we're going to be correlating our outfits together so that we can get that recognition. It's like we're coming as a package deal. And I think if you have a friend like that you could go to Fashion Week with, that's going to really just set you a step higher when you're trying to be visible among everybody. So that's what we're bringing and offering. We're both tall girls. We have like differences in our style, but they still complement one another. So I'm super excited for that. Shows and pop-up events. I know a lot of you are probably wondering, how did I find these things? How did I find what was going on in the city amidst, being a small creator, not having a, direct pipeline to these things? And honestly, it's just doing a lot of research. So TikTok is really good for finding pop-up events. There are a lot of creators on there who live in New York, who always show different pop-up events that are happening in New York, period. Also, Threads for shows and presentations. So there are a lot of PR and designers on Threads who are always looking for attendees and creatives as well to give tickets to. So I would say check out Threads, especially now until Fashion Week. Fashion Week, I would say a lot of things are very last minute. So you just never know what you may see all the way up into you being there. Like the day of, I still will be scrolling and looking through things. Like the day of me getting there, while I'm there, it's just always good to be on the lookout. I also would say Instagram ads for shows. Once I start going through all these different search engines, TikTok, Google, Threads, Instagram. Instagram just started feeding me more of what I've been looking for through the algorithm, of course. So I've seen a lot of ads for shows, and those are going to be shows that are a lot more affordable. Of course, they're not invite only. That's how I found a lot of shows. And then I look for shows that are innovative and unique and have a lot of underground designers. So I'm looking for a show where I can be inspired. I'm not just looking to go to any fashion show. I look for a certain taste level I'm looking for that show to have as far as the designers. I paid $70 for each ticket, so it's not too bad, under $100. One show is more intimate than the other. I'll pop up the brand. The other show is actually a festival. It's a fashion week festival. So that one I am going more for entertainment, to let loose a little bit, to just have a good time. The festival, they normally have performances. So they've had Dolce, they have had Glorilla. I think they've also had like Jeremiah, or maybe he's coming this year. I'm not sure. This is more of a turn up time in a way. There is fashion involved because it is ultimately a fashion show, and it's a bunch of designers running all day. Then you have the more intimate one. This is a brand that was started in Brooklyn. Normally, I feel like they've had their shows in Brooklyn, but now it will be in the city. So I bought tickets for that, $70, like I said. And this is a lot more of an intimate show, but they have a lot of unique designers, I feel. A lot of black and brown creatives, even Asian creatives, or not creatives, but designers. I'm just really looking forward to the difference between the shows and see what I prefer, what I liked about each one, what I didn't. Last, we're going to talk about what I wear. And wow, we got through this pretty quick. I'm going to have a video coming out next week where I show you some of my fashion week looks, because I know you're probably wondering, okay, what are you wearing as a small creator? Where did you shop? How did you shop? How did you go about putting these looks together? All of that will be in next week's video. But I do want to touch on what I wear just to get your wheels turning if you're still stuck on what am I going to wear. First and foremost, I dress for comfort. I realized very quickly going in February that it is not cute to have hurting feet. I'm just at an age that I don't want to sacrifice my feet anymore for fashion. So there are so many alternative options now. Kitten heels are in. I love a good loafer. Yeah, I'm going to be comfortable. I do have some heels that are more comfortable, but all of my shoes for the most part must be comfortable, and that's what I've tried to consider, and I pretty much hit my target with that. Dress for comfort, that can include weather as well. It's going to be like in the 70s, 80s. I've been tracking the weather. It's going to be a little warm, but not too warm. I don't sweat my face anyway, so I should be fine. But yeah, just keep in mind, comfort is always the goal first. I'm also going to be making sure if I do have any shoes that aren't comfortable, because I am going to do a wear test with all of my shoes, just walking around the house and seeing like, okay, what do I need to do? Do I need to get extra padding in my shoes, extra soles, like all of that stuff? Getting the numbing cream for my shoe, like my feet. I'm going to be prepared, y'all. I'm telling you. But I'm also going to have flats for those shoes that are like not as comfortable over time. So that's something to consider. Also, I'm looking for outfits that match my personal style. I'm there to build and showcase my personal brand. I'm going to show up to what is unique to my take on fashion, and I'm not looking to check trend boxes. Now, some things that are trending have worked for my personal style, so organically I have acquired things that are trending, but ultimately everything I'm wearing, it's part of my style DNA, where I am today, based off what I can afford, where I live, what I do. That's what I'll say. As far as inspo, I did go to Pinterest. Also, just look back at my old photos of outfits that I enjoyed wearing when I have gone to different events or traveled. And then I would say also Instagram, but really just playing in my closet and pulling things, all my statement pieces out, and figuring out how I can couple what things with what. that's what I really did to get inspired. I did have a Pinterest board, and I created this several months ago. You also, if you follow my channel, which you should be subscribed, I have been shopping for Fashion Week for a couple months now because I am not heavy on summer fashion, really, because I live in Ohio and it's normally cold most of the time. Fall and winter is more of my season, so I had to really prepare in advance because this is just not my season of dressing. But I think I did a pretty good job. I would say get you a Pinterest board started early. I did push myself to stretch my style muscle. I really feel like style is a muscle that has to be worked. If you take months off without getting dressed, when you come back to it, you're going to feel new at it again. That's just how it works. You know, creativity is a muscle within itself that has to be worked consistently. So I have been trying on outfits weekly for the past about 2-3 months, just to work out what I have, just come back, rethink about what I photograph myself in. Like, okay, does this work? Can, you know, does this really align with my brand? Like, this is how intentional I'm being with this, especially because I'm spending this money and time, and I'm not going to shortchange myself by not being prepared and not come and look the best I can look. That's pretty much it. I'm really excited because next week I'm going to be showing you guys 4 to 5 looks that I will be taking to Fashion Week. I will be showing you how I came up with these outfits, getting your opinions on, you know, my accessories and shoes and final touches. But yeah, I'm excited to share what I will be wearing so that you can get an idea of maybe and get some inspo on what you would want to wear. Overall, I hope this video helped. I feel like I gave you guys a lot of information. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully you found something that you're like, okay, yes, I need to jot that down. And next week, when I'm showing you the outfits, I'm also going to get into other ways to prep for Fashion Week in and around beauty and skincare and hygiene and things like that, and how we pack. So that'll be for next week. I just want to thank you if you stuck around to the end. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Join my community of girls. We are here because we love fashion, we love style, we love travel, and we love to just do life with other women who are into the same things. So I love you guys. I hope to see you in my next video, and make sure you comment below where you will be if you're going to Fashion Week, because I would love to meet some of you guys. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.